Turn on live captions. So captions are also available for you. So if you require, you can refer the captions that is been displayed. Very good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sanket Charkha from Savitribai Phule Pune University, Sinhagad Institutes. We are dealing with the subject of economic analysis of business decision. And in the earlier chapters, we have dealt with the first chapter, that is, what is the term or the conditionals with respect to managerial economics. We have understood what is microeconomics, macroeconomics, managerial economics, and the importance of various different theories that have been provided by various economists around the world. In the last lecture, I have dealt with the concept of utility and the concept of demand analysis. So we have understood what is the meaning of utility, how utility has been created, and what is the major perspective or understanding of demand analysis from customers or the product perspectives. We have seen with the definition of demand analysis with respect to Benham and G.L. Thickettle. So two definitions of the international economist was also been dealt with, and each and every point or the word that has been mentioned in the definition was also been understood in an effective way. Then we have seen what is effective demand, what does the effective demand requires. So a particular demand, in order to be very effective, it must be backed by a desire, it must have a certain means to purchase, and there must be a willingness to use that particular product. So unless and until there is a willingness to use all the three factors or components, it has been fulfilled, the demand cannot be very effective, and it is a mandate for requirement of that particular demand for a particular product. Then we have understood or we have seen about what are the various objectives of demand analysis, when we can say or why demand analysis is required or needed to be studied. With respect to the demand forecasting, production planning, sales forecasting, control on business factors, inventory or stock control, short-term and long-term growth and investment, and lastly, the economic planning. Demand forecasting with respect to the specific product, about how do you forecast the demand, what amount will be purchased, what quantity has to be manufactured. That perception is the concept of demand forecasting. Production planning, that is how do you source the factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, enterprise and resources, and how the acquisition of these resources can be undertaken as and when the need is been arise. So over a period of time, when your manufacturing activity starts till the product has been provided at the distribution center, that is the retailer or the store outlet, what activities do you need to perform and what planning an individual has to do. Sales forecasting, that is with respect to sales forecasting, about how do you forecast a particular sale and how do we come to a certain conclusion about production and manufacturing activity and distribution chain. Control on business factors, various factors with respect to the business, that is internal and external environment. So what are the various factors that affect the internal environment nature and external environment, and how do an organization has to control and match the demand accordingly. So we have to see that both the factors are in a stable state, and accordingly whenever the product has been either at the higher demand or the lower demand, the factors have been created and the demand has been at a balanced stage. Inventory or stock control, major perspective. Why? Because it is directly linked with the production planning, that is the production function, and unless and until you have a proper control on your inventory or the stock or the goods that have been stored in your warehouses, the effective utilization of all the resources, all the raw material cannot be undertaken in an effective way. Short-term and long-term growth and the perspectives of investment. So simultaneously we have to understand what is the perception of the short-term goal and the long-term goal. Major the industry or the firm is having two goals that have been associated, that is either the profit maximization or the sales maximization. If the company is dealing with the concept of profit maximization, they have to deal with the concept of extending their amount of gross profit or net profit. If they are dealing with the concept of expansion of their wealth maximization, then what they have to see, they have to look for how the balance sheet value, how the concern with respect to the concerns of the balance sheet, assets, liabilities, and so on, or the sales, or the turnover, it has been increased over a period of time. So that is the concept of profit maximization, sales maximization, along with the short-term and long-term growth that has been created. In terms of the investment perspectives, investment at the short-term level will be available or will be called as a working capital requirement, and in the long term will be called as a debt that has been associated. So for sourcing of different funds that has been required for the productions, demand, sales, distribution, and so on, we have to source out about in what way the product can be identified and it can be generated or it can be created, and ultimately it is distributed to the end consumer. Economic planning, the economic planning deals with a certain concept about how do you plan the production, distribution function, all those particular functions. So the economic planning is completely associated with the perspective of monetary policy, fiscal policy, trade policy, export import policy, consumer policy, product policy, and so on. So all those policies that have been related with the concept of micro and macroeconomics, that policies we have to understand and we have to deal with. Then we have seen what are the various different types of demand. So types of demand, it was specifically measured, that is on the various categories. The categories of demand is individual or market demand, firm or industry demand, autonomous or derived demand, durable or non-durable demand, short-term or long-term demand, joint or composite demand, direct or indirect demand, and lastly, total market or segmented market demand. In this way, we have studied or we have understood the each and every individual component in detail. From today's lecture,
Excuse me,
we'll be
sir.
understanding. Yes.
Sir, short-term and long-term demand is as the same as durable and non-durable demand, no, sir?
Yes, it is completely same, but the duration may change. Now, short-term demand may be for just a single period, that is for a 1 day, also for a specific minute also, but a long-term demand can be for several number of years. And durable demand can be consumed over a period of time. Now, for example, I'll give you example, that is whenever you are thirsty. Now, whenever I say I am thirsty, now what is the example of? Now, whenever you categorize durable or non-durable, water is called as a non-durable product because it cannot be preserved for a longer period of time. So it is categorized as non-durable. But the another perspectives of the type of short-term or long-term demand, in terms of the short-term and long-term differentiation, water will be treated as a short-term demand. Why? Because we can consume this particular water for a very specific period of time. That is, you make or a particular water may be used for a long-term demand point of perspectives also. That is, when you purchase a water bottle, then I can consume one sip at present, the another sip at after 1 hour, another sip at the third hour, another sip at the fifth hour, and so on. Accordingly, the water can be consumed. So a particular product, you have to based on the categorization, based on the consumption that has been made by an individual, it is categorized whether it is a durable, non-durable, long term, short term, and so on.
Thank you, sir. And sir, the short-term period was is 6 month or 1 week?
Short-term period is maximum of 6 months, but starting from the day 1. So day 1 to 6 months, or and after 1 year. So max, that is the duration between 6 months to 1 year. It is treated as a cooling period or as a reserve period for a particular product. So if a particular product is between 6 months to 1 year, this particular period, why it is kept as in reserve? Because the customer is thinking of changing the product. Now, whenever we say that there is a demand for this particular product, what do we have to see? We have to identify whether the customer will purchase the product for a sequence period of time, that is for a regular interval or not. So now, for example, I have purchased a shirt of, for example, Lee Cooper today. Now, if Lee Cooper shirt or a particular accessories is been purchased by me today, tomorrow what happen? If the product is not satisfied, if I don't find this particular product as a comfortable, after 6 months, that is after the use of that particular product. Now, shirt is a particular concern wherein you are consuming for a very short period of time, that is maximum of 4 to 6 months. After that period, you throw away that particular shirt and accordingly it is not been consumed. Now, if I'm not satisfactory or if I'm not comfortable with that particular product, then what can I do? I can try for it second time, or I can switch to another product, or that is I can go for a Lou Philip, or I can go for a Cotton King. Now, in this case, now what is that particular duration? The duration between 6 months to 1 year. So between this particular duration, I identify whether the product was comfortable or not, whether it was suitable, whether it was acceptable, and based on this, my second demand will be there for that particular product. Another concern, if the product was very comfortable, now what will be concern? Now, if the product is comfortable, if I am comfortable with Lee Cooper, then again, second time also I will be purchasing the same shirt of the same brand. Now here, that product which is consumed for the second time, now second time also there is a certain cooling period. The product that you have purchased earlier may be better than the quality that was available for the first time and for the second time also. But at the third time, we are not confirmed, we are not sure. The manufacturing policy may change, the company policy may change, the pricing may change, the branding may change, the components of the product may change, and accordingly, the third time I may not purchase or I may purchase. So for this concern, if the product is purchased for the third time, that is more than 1 year, then it becomes a long-term perspective.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other?
No,
Moving further, with the determinants of market demand. So whenever we identify now demand for a particular product, now whenever we say there is a demand for a particular product, now based on these certain categories that has been provided for you, the demand for a particular product may be majorly categorization as an individual demand and or as a market demand. Now what is the concept of individual demand? That is a single customer or individual person is coming to the market and he's purchasing these particular product. Or the another concern can be the different participants, n number of people, that is 50, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, many number of people are coming and they are purchasing your product, and accordingly that particular component can be called as a market demand. Now moving completely to a different perspectives. Now the concept of individual demand was a concept of microeconomics. Now the concept of market demand is the concept of macroeconomics. So whenever we need to understand, now here in terms of your syllabus perspective, we are not focusing on microeconomics. Now your individual demand is not been taken into consideration. Now whenever we say that market demand has been studied, then we are going to study what is the concept of macroeconomics. So a broader perspective, a major perspective, a bigger perspective is wherein there are a lot many number of participants who can identify, who are need to be taken into consideration, and accordingly the product performance has to be identified. So what we are doing, we are identifying the performance of that particular product, where that is when a particular product will be purchased, why it will be purchased, how it will be purchased, and what are the various factors, what are the various determinants which impact the purchasing power of an individual, that is which impact about how a particular product has to be demanded, whether that the demand can be created, whether demand can be decreased, increased, and so on. First thing, the major determinants of a market demand is the price of that particular product. So whatever price of the product is ruling into that particular market, only that product should be offered to the consumer, and accordingly that particular price must be only charged to the customer. If the price that has been charged by according to the market, if the price of the product is being charged according to not prevailing price into the market, then the consumer will not purchase your product, and accordingly your product will be out of the market. For example, a particular cell phone or a particular watch that you have to purchase. Now whenever you go to a particular store or a particular mall, a particular store that is in Pune, now in Pune you have identified a Titan watch for example for rupees 5,000. A watch which is available, you have selected a particular watch, a watch was available for rupees 5,000, and the brand category was also same, that is Titan. Now over a period of time, for example, whenever you were at Pune, you traveled from Pune to Mumbai and you postpone your decision of purchase watch or purchasing of that particular watch. Another product that you have identified, that is Tag Heuer, or another product that you have identified, and certain brands you have started to explore. You have explored the market of Mumbai, you have explored the market of Calcutta, you have explored the market of Delhi, you have explored the market of Ahmedabad. Now at different locations, if the product is same, if the category is same, if the brand is same, then there is a certain concern of prevailing price into the market. This particular prevailing price of that particular market says that the pricing that has been set for an individual product may be same, must be same over a period of time at all the locations. So if at Pune it is 5,000, at Ahmedabad, at Calcutta, at Delhi, and so on, the price must be around 5,000 only. That is around between 4,800 to maximum of 5,200. Only then we can say that the market demand for a particular product, that is with respect to the pricing of the product, is quite comfortable, quite affordable, and quite acceptable. Now if the price is very different, that is if the price becomes 4,500 or if the price becomes 6,000. Now here at this stage, what the consumer will think, or what the retail or what the purchaser will think, he will think of a certain concern that a particular product, if it is for a pricing of rupees 4,000 or 4,500, there is a certain defect into that particular product. Or if the pricing of the product is certain beyond the limit, that is you have identified, you have thought of a certain price of rupees 5,000 and the product has been offered at rupees 6,000. Then what he will do, he will change his purchase decision, and accordingly the product will not be demanded. So based on the pricing of that particular product, a product has been demanded, and then accordingly the market demand has been created for that particular product. Another concern, for example, for purchasing of the precious goods. Now in going to the concern of retail product, that is the daily consumables. Now daily consumables in terms of rice. Now rice is a particular type of product or a certain different brands of wheat that is made available. You have a certain options with you, that is based on your income category, based on your level of product, the price of that particular product is also differing. That is you may get a certain rice of rupees 1 kg also for 5 kg, 5 rupees per kg, 12 rupees per kg, 20 rupees per kg, 100 rupees per kg, 35 rupees per kg, and 150 or 200 rupees per kg also. So Determinants of market demand. The price of the particular product identifies about what type of customer you are getting, what type of your product or the quality of your product is, and accordingly how you will be able to sell this particular product. Now, based on the population. Now, population here means a certain concern about what many number of quantity will be demanded, how much quantity of the product will be demanded. So at this stage, we have to identify the price of the product which has been affordable to the consumer. If it is affordable, then only the consumer will purchase. If it is not affordable, then the product will not be purchased, and accordingly the demand for that particular product will decrease. Second perspective we have is the income of consumer. The income of the consumer is directly proportional, it is directly linked with the market demand that has been associated. Now, take a randomization situation wherein if everything is going very normal and accordingly on those particular terms, what will be the purchasing power of an individual? That is, consider the scenario of 2018, 2019 and the beginning of 2020. Till February, everything was going very fluently, everything was going very effectively. The income level of the consumers, income level of the people in the country was very stable, and everyone was purchasing the goods and services as per their need and requirement, and it was a balanced position. But after a point of time, what happened? The income of the consumer has changed. That is, since that is COVID-19 situation incurred, and accordingly from the March onwards, there was a period of lockdown, and post lockdown, we have a situation of unlock period. During the lockdown and post unlock period, what happened? Many people either they have retained their jobs, or some of the people have lost their jobs, or there was a certain concern wherein the salary of the respective people, the income of the particular people reduced to a certain rate. Now, whenever we say that the income of the people has reduced to a certain rate, then what happened? Accordingly, the consumption pattern has also changed. Now, take an example wherein a particular family, now a particular family which they are daily consuming, or they are very satisfied with the bread and butter, and based on this concern, what happened? Their consumption level was very satisfactory. That is, in the month of February, 5 kg of sugar was been purchased, a bread, a particular packet of, that is 3 packets of bread was being purchased, and accordingly they were consuming very happily. But after a point of time, in the month of April or in the month of May, the person who is a sole earning of that particular family, he lost his job, and accordingly at the losing of the job, he got a new job, and the new job was offered for a lower salary. Now, if a particular new job is offered for a lower salary, or if a person he loses his jobs completely, what happens? Accordingly, their consumption pattern will also change. So the determinants of market demand clearly identifies, or clearly is dependent on what is the income of that particular consumer. If your income is decreasing, accordingly, simultaneously, your consumption will also decrease. So there is a direct relationship, direct correlation between the income of a consumer and the amount of goods or quantity that has been consumed. Take a reverse situation now. Accordingly, for example, in the year 2020 or 21 onwards, you are performing, or you are a particular person of a pharmaceutical industry, and in this case, or in this particular concern, the company has identified that you are performing very good, and accordingly, what happened? The company has given you an additional incentives, certain awards and rewards, or a certain compensation was also been given for you, and accordingly there was a salary or a pay hike that was been given for you. Now, when income of the consumer increases, accordingly, if the income of the consumer increases, his consumption pattern will also increase. Today, if he was purchasing the rice of rupees 25 per kg, tomorrow, if his salary is increased from rupees 6 lakhs to rupees 8 lakhs, what happened? The brand of the product that is he is consuming. Earlier, he was purchasing the rice of rupees 25. Tomorrow, he may purchase a rice of rupees 40 per kg. Earlier, they were consuming 5 kg of sugar. Tomorrow, they may consume 7 kgs of sugar. Today, he was purchasing a Titan watch. Tomorrow, he may purchase a watch of Tag Heuer. Today, he was purchasing the clothes of Cotton King. Tomorrow, he may go for Lee Cooper or Lou Philip and so on. So, accordingly, what happened? If the income of the consumer increases, accordingly, the market demand for that particular product also increases. A reverse example I will give you for this particular concern. Now, income of consumer. In the year 2008, whenever there was a situation of the depression in the world economy, that is the collapse of the Lehman Brothers, entire world economy was into recession for the period of 2008, 2009, 2010, and the beginning of 2011. So at this stage, when the income of the consumer was been decreased, it was been at a lower level. Accordingly, the entire economy was in a slowdown situation. That is, they were moving in a recession period. The consumption was decreased, the growth was decreased, the market demand was decreased, the amount of quantity that was been demanded, everything started to decrease day by day, until the end of 2011, till the end of 2010 and the beginning of 2011, the situation continued. But over a period of time, what happened? After 2011, 2012, and at the beginning of 2013, everything was again in a normal position and the economy was at a revival stage. That everyone consumer was getting a new job. There was a boost in the market economy. The share market was very stable. There was a great increase in the Sensex prices. The quantity of production that was been demanded was also increased, and so on. So accordingly, what happened? You can see a drastic change at this particular stage or point of time. So from 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17 onwards, accordingly, the income of the consumer started to increase, and accordingly, when the income of the consumer started to increase, the new product was introduced into this particular market, and when the new products were introduced in this particular market, the consumer went to the market and they started to purchase those products. So it is directly relation. It is having a direct correlation between if the income increases, accordingly the market demand for the particular product or a number of products or several number of products will increase, and if the market demand for a consumer of the income of that particular consumer decreases, accordingly the quantity demanded will also decrease. Next example, next determinants of market demand is the taste and preferences. So here plays a very important role, but between the taste and preferences of a particular individual or a particular customer. So if now whenever I quote a certain concern that an individual, now there are several number of individuals who are participant to that particular market. So if there are several number of participants who are there into the market, they collectively become and they form a market demand. So a market demand is being created by several number of individuals who are getting participation, and accordingly the determinant is directly dependent or proportional to the taste and preferences but that the product is being offered for or that the product is being demanded. Now today you have a certain taste or today you have a certain preference. Today you are demanding a certain product which is having of a bit average quantity, that is depending on your income level. That is, if your income level is X and accordingly you are demanding a certain product of rupees 20 per kg or 25 per kg or rupees 50 per kg. Now at this stage, for example, what is the concern? That is depending on your income, you are demanding certain product. Now tomorrow, if your position, if your designation, if you get a certain hike in the particular employment, accordingly, if your salary is increased, if your designation increased, if your post is been increased, then what happen? Your standard of living also starts increasing. So accordingly, if the standard of living of a particular individual increases, his way of behaving, his way of activity or his way of conducting the business concern increases. Accordingly, what he will do, he will start to demand, he will start to purchase different types of product which will suit according to his category, according to his standard, and accordingly the product that he is needing, according to the product that he is requiring, that products only will be demanded. So the taste always changes. Now another concern that we have to understand at this particular stage is entire study of economics. Now economics deals with a certain concern about how an individual is performing, what is the human psychology. Now human psychology is a particular concern wherein over a period of time he is not in a certain position to consume a specific product for a longer period of time. Every stage, at every point of time, the human being as a certain natural animal or as a social animal, he needs different types of products or different types of activities to perform. That is, today if you are consuming something, tomorrow we need a certain change. Tomorrow if you are doing something, day after tomorrow we need a certain change. Depending on the clothes, depending on the habitat, depending on the food that we are consuming, every day we need a certain different taste. Now take an example, that is from Monday to Sunday you are consuming the same food. That is Monday to Saturday you are consuming the same food, that is dal, roti, chapati. Then at this stage what happened? At the end of the day, that is at the end of the week, that is either on the Sunday or on the Saturday, what do? We plan with our family and accordingly we go to a restaurant or we go to a particular mall and accordingly we consume the food that is available outside in the market. So here the taste and preferences, the preference of a particular individual also changes, and human being as a particular social animal, he cannot restrict or he cannot stick to a certain fixed product. So due to this concern, what happened? The market demand also keeps on changing. Today, if you have eaten a certain product that is a pizza, tomorrow you may need a certain product which is available in a different mode. Tomorrow, again, day after tomorrow, you may need a certain another product which is having a different taste. So accordingly, the taste keeps on changing, the demand keeps on changing, and the preferences for the different products keeps on changing. Today, if you have accepted a particular brand, tomorrow by the word of mouth, tomorrow by hearing something, you may switch to a different product, and accordingly, your preferences, your choices for the different products keeps on increasing. So this is the concern of taste and preferences for a single product, and accordingly it changes over a period of time, and it is being a certain concern of an ongoing concept, that is with respect to the circulation of flow of money, circulation of flow of activities in the concern. Accordingly, the taste and preferences of an individual keeps on changing. Next determinant of the market demand is the concept of advertisement. So advertisement is also having an impact, and this particular impact is of a psychological nature. So depending on what advertisement is been shown for you, what is the need, what is the uh, arousement level that has been created by this particular concept of advertisement, it directly impacts about what product will be demanded and what product will not be demanded. Now, here in this case, for example, you have seen various advertisements with respect to Ril, Liril, Hamam, Lifebuoy, and so on. So different types of product which are available for your condition, for the preservation of your health factors. Now at this stage, whichever product is been showing, whichever product is been portraying a good picture to you, accordingly you will try to purchase and you will be tempted to purchase that particular product only. Or certain different types of product gives you certain comparison about which is what is the quality of the local brand and what is the quality of the international brand or the national brand that is there into existence or an existing brand. So depending on the advertisement that is being shown for you, what happen, your purchase decision changes. Whatever advertisement, whether the advertisement is available in a print format, in a online format, or in a word or a oral format, based on those concerns, what happen, impression is been created on your mind, and accordingly your purchase decision gets impacted. Now take an example. For example, you went to purchase a particular cell phone, and whenever you are purchasing the cell phone, what does the retailer do? The retailer has displayed you certain leaflet, brochure, and pamphlet. Now based on the leaflet, brochure, and pamphlet, what happened, a particular product X, that is Samsung. Samsung is a particular product wherein in that particular leaflet, n number of features of the product are being displayed, and accordingly what happened, you read all those features which are available on this particular product. Another concern, another example you have is of Oppo, and Oppo is a particular brand wherein they have the product quality, but they have not displayed it anywhere, and you are not known to this particular product. Now, based on the advertisement that is being shown, that is in form of a print media, or based on a particular advertisement that is being shown on online media or on a television media. Now, what will be this particular situation? Based on the print media, what will be your decision? Your decision will be to purchase the particular product of Samsung. But based on the advertisement, there was a certain television that was been displayed into that particular retail store, and the retail store advertisement was portraying about how Oppo phone is better and how the connectivity, how the features of this particular product are available in abundant nature. Now here the customer gets confused about which product has to be taken for, which product is not to be taken for. So based on this concern, the advertisement is having a direct impact on the mind of the consumer, and he's guided with a certain concept or a certain concern about which product to go for, whether to purchase this product or whether to purchase that product. So a market demand for the particular product, a demand for a particular product that the consumer is demanding that I want to purchase this product. The customer is taking a certain decision about this product has to be purchased by me. Accordingly, it is getting impacted by the factor of advertisement. Next factor we have is the consumer expectations. That is what we have seen the earlier expectation, that is the taste and preferences over a period of time. That is every moment, every point of time, that requirement of a particular consumer is changing. And if the requirement of the consumer are changing, what happen? The consumer expectations also change. Today he need a certain product, tomorrow they need different products, and accordingly it keeps on changing over a period of time. So consumer expectations keep changing on every minute and every point of time. The company or the organization or the manufacturer has to come with different advancements into this particular product. So if the consumer expectations is changing, accordingly the market demand for that particular product increases, and accordingly you have to provide those particular product. Earlier everyone was satisfied with the dial phone that was available, that is you have to circulate that particular wheel, and accordingly the consumer was happy, they were satisfied with the product that was available. Consumer expectation, another product, that is the consumer were feeling very tired while dialing that particular phone, and accordingly they were feeling very restless. After a point of time, a new phone was being introduced by Nokia, and accordingly Nokia gave a certain phone which was a touchpad, sorry, a keypad phone that was available. Now keypad phone, again the consumer expectations were changing, they need a certain advancement, and again a Bluetooth was being inserted, FM radio was being inserted, a torch was being inserted, mobile camera was being inserted, and so on. So accordingly the consumer expectations started to increase from that particular product, and the company also started to develop or revise their product again and again as the time changes. Over a period of time, gradually what happened from the year 1980s, 2000, 2005, 2010, and as on today we can see that depending on the different product that are available, that is Oppo, Samsung, and so on, or the Apple of phone that is into existence, there are n number of categories, n number of features that have been launched into this particular product, but still the consumer are not happy. They need extras, they need extra, they need more. So based on the expectation. If the company is advancing that particular product, accordingly the consumer expectations also increases and they keep on demanding a new product. So market demand is directly associated with what consumer is expecting. If they expect different features in the particular in that particular product, accordingly the company has to manufacture and they have to look for how this particular product will be made available to the consumer. Growth of population. So if there is a continuous growth in the population, accordingly the market demand is also increasing over a period of time. That is now growth of population. Now take an example of the Indian population also. So Indian population, the requirement for wheat, jawar, bajra, rice, dal, pulses and so on. The population of India in the year 1947 or that is during the independence era was around maybe 50 crore, and accordingly what happened, the requirement is also very small. But over a period of time, gradually what happened, the population also has increased. Now, for example, the requirement of for wheat, if the requirement for wheat was 100 metric ton, that is for the population of 50 crore. Now, accordingly, as on today, what happened? The population has increased. It has increased from 70 crore, 100 crore, 120 crore, and it has reached 135 crore. Now, what do we see? The growth in the population. So with the growth in the population, 100 metric tons of wheat is not sufficient, and accordingly what do we need to do? We need to manufacture, we need to produce 500 metric ton, 1000 metric ton of wheat and so on. So accordingly, with the growth of population, the market demand for the particular product also increases. Now that example was only for one single product. The wheat is demanded, jawar is demanded, bajra is demanded, sugar is demanded. There are n number of categories of product. That is, I am giving example of only consumable product. Accordingly, the requirement of house that is been required, that is food, clothing and shelter. So food requirement also increase, clothing requirement also increase, and shelter requirement. That is, earlier there was only a particular family were used to stay in a joint family, and accordingly based on those concerns, the people were happy living together. But now we have a nuclear families. Everyone wants to separate and wants to move to cities, and accordingly what happened, a particular family, that is 5 brothers were living earlier together. Now all the 5 brothers are separated. Now we don't need one home. Now we need different five types of homes. So accordingly, with the growth of population, the market demand for that particular product also increases. So if your population is increasing, so if that particular person gets married, accordingly his children will come into existence. Based on these children, for example, there are 2 to 3 children, again the next 2 children or the next generation will be getting separated, and accordingly the market demand for real estate, the market demand for the clothing industry, and the market demand for the food industry and so on. There are n number of industries into existence. It keeps on increasing. So in this way, the market determinant of this particular demand based on the population factor is also determinant, wherein based on the increase in the population, the market or the demand for a particular product increases over a period of time. Weather conditions. So based on the weather conditions also, the market demand for a particular product increases or decreases. Now, as on today in summer season or in winter season, if I say you that please purchase umbrella, please purchase umbrella, please purchase raincoat, will you try and will you purchase raincoats? No. So at this stage, the market demand. So there is a certain different types of product based on the weather condition. That particular product is demanded and that particular product is being offered or it is being asked for. If the weather conditions are not suitable, if they are not comfortable, then that particular product will not be demanded from that particular market. Now at every stage or every year, what do we feel that around June to September there will be rainy season, and everyone we go for a shopping, and accordingly we purchase umbrellas and raincoats. So in these concern, what happen based on the weather condition, if there is a change in the weather conditions, accordingly the demand for that particular product also increases. Now carrying of umbrella. Now carrying of in the month of from June to September, everyone is very comfortable to carry umbrella and carry raincoats uh, in their belongings while moving from office to their home accordingly. But in terms of November and December, if you are not known, or if you are not predictive about what will be the change in the weather conditions, and if you see outside there is a cloudy environment, then based on this particular condition, what you will do, you will again bring back that particular umbrella, you will again carry your raincoat, and accordingly the market demand for that particular product increases. Now, change in the weather condition, if the summer season gets extended, and then accordingly what do? We start making provisions for different types of products or different types of commodity that has been required. If the winter season gets extended to a certain period, then accordingly the requirement for the sweaters and shawls accordingly also increases, also decreases as and when the weather condition changes. So depending on the weather also, the market demand for a particular product changes. Now, for example, in terms of January, February or December, if there is a continuous rainfall in this particular season, then what will be the condition? The mangoes that are yet to be ripened, the mangoes that are yet to be manufactured, and the mangoes that are hanging on tree, gets destroyed, gets spoiled, and accordingly that particular product cannot be offered into the market. So if there is a rainfall in the month of December, January and February, the mangoes get spoiled, and accordingly that particular product cannot be offered into the market. So what happened? The market demand for a mangoes. Now what is the market demand for a mangoes? The market demand for a mangoes is in the month of March, April and May. That is the highest peak of summer season. During those season only the mangoes can be demanded. So in this case, what happen? If there is a change in the weather condition, there is a sudden rainfall increase in the month of January and February, then accordingly if the mangoes are not been manufactured properly, if they are not been produced properly, then the demand for mangoes will also decrease over a period of time. So determinants of market demand based on the weather conditions. Next thing we have is the concept of tax rate. So if the government is changing the taxes, if there is a frequent change in the rate of taxes that has been set by the government, then based on this particular concern also, the market demand for this particular product also increases or decreases. Now, take an example at this particular stage of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, and so on. So at this stage, what happens if the different states in India are having different tax rates, and based on this particular concern, the rate of the economy, the rate of the goods, rate of the product changes or it differs. Everyone is getting a certain message on WhatsApp stating that is the difference in the fuel prices. So at Maharashtra, the fuel prices are different. At Gujarat, the fuel prices are different. At Pakistan, the fuel prices are different. At Saudi Arabia, the fuel prices are different. At US, the fuel prices are different. At India, at the national level, the fuel prices are different. So at this stage, what happens? We can identify about why there is a change in the fuel prices. So what comes the major picture? That is the rate of taxes that is being charged by a respective government. Now, either the state government or either the central government, they are charging different amount of taxes, and based on this particular concern, the price of the product is being set. So a market demand for that particular product. So if you want to identify the demand for petrol or diesel, then if the price of the petrol or diesel, for example, as on today is rupees 100 per liter, then it will be demanded for only 1 liter only. Now, if the rate in the Gujarat, if for example a particular state that is Gujarat, if the rate is rupees 50 per liter, then what you will do? The demand for that particular product will be 2 liters. That is your income level is same. Your amount of expenditure, amount of spending is continuously same. But in case of rupees 100, you will be getting 2 liters, and hence your consumption accordingly changes. Your spending pattern accordingly changes. So it is a direct tax rates are having direct impact on the amount of quantity that is being demanded, and not on the quality or consumption pattern. So your consumption pattern will be same, but what is been changing? The quantity that you are demanding. So in case of rupees 50, you are getting 1 liter, but in case of 100, you are just getting 0.5 liter, that is half liter. So in this case, what happened? The rate of tax is also getting impacted, and accordingly, sorry, in case of rupees 50 in Maharashtra, you will be getting half liter, and in case of 100, you will be getting 1 liter. So in this case, the tax rate is getting directly impacted with the concern about how a product that has been demanded keeps on changing. Availability of credit. So credit specifically means the credit facility that is given by the money lenders, the suppliers of finances or supplier of funds. So at this stage, we have to identify, that is, if you are availing a certain category of loan, that is, if a particular amount is being raised from a general public, or if you are raising the money from a stock market, or if you are raising the money from the various stock exchanges or the financial institutions, then how the availability of credit is available. Availability of credit completely depend on the rate of interest that has been prevailing into the market. So the rate of interest, that is, State Bank of India may give you 8%, Bank of Baroda may give you 9%, HDFC may charge you 13%, and Axis Bank may charge you at 7%. So if there is a difference in the rate of interest that is available for the credit period, and accordingly for the amount of credit that you are availing, for the amount of loan that you are availing, then accordingly the market demand for a particular amount of product or a quantity or the raw material also changes. Now, based on the credit that you are availing, based on the loan that you are taking from that particular market, your consumption pattern will also differ. If the rate of interest has been decreed by the various banks, then accordingly what you will do, you will purchase a less amount of credit, or you will take less amount of loan that has been required. So if the less amount of loan is been taken from that particular market, accordingly what you will do, you will get a amount of money that is less, and accordingly your purchase of raw material will also be at a lesser pattern. So in this case, we have to identify what amount of credit is been made available for you, and on what basis you are conducting the availability of funds and resources. Pattern of saving. The pattern of savings also is having a market demand perspective with respect to what quantity is being demanded into these particular markets. For example, take example of Mr. Sanket. Now, Mr. Sanket is a particular person. His income level is rupees 10 lakh, and based on this particular concern, his expenditure pattern is rupees 8 lakhs. Now, where this particular same person, same category, same post, same designation, income level is rupees 10 lakhs, his expenditure pattern is rupees 8 lakhs. Now, what will be his pattern of savings? He will be saving rupees 2 lakh for every year. So for a period of that is 12 months, the expenditure pattern will be around for rupees 8 lakhs, and accordingly 2 lakhs amount of will be saved by a particular person. Take an example, the same employee, same person, or my colleague, and accordingly his income is also 10 lakhs, and accordingly what he's doing, his spending pattern or his expenditure pattern is rupees 5 lakhs only. So what happened, based on the expenditure pattern, based on the pattern of savings, if the particular person, that is Mr. Sankit, was giving a priority for saving rupees 2 lakhs, but Mr. X or Mr. Anurag, now take example of Mr. Anurag, my colleague. So what Anurag will do, Anurag is having a major thrust, major prior preference for saving, and accordingly he's saving 5 lakhs of rupees. So if his preference, his priority for saving is rupees 5 lakhs, then what happen, the amount of remaining, that is remaining amount of rupees 5 lakh is available for him for just only expenditure, and accordingly he will be spending, he will be demanding the products which are fit into his category of rupees 5 lakhs only. So what pattern of saving is available for an individual, whether the individual wants to save maximum money or whether the individual wants to spend more money, it completely depends on what product will be demanded. So accordingly, if my spending pattern is more, if my spending pattern is less, what will I do? I will demand more number of products from the market. If my spending pattern is less, or if my spending pattern is less and my income level is remaining stable, and accordingly I want to save more amount of money, then accordingly what will I do? I will demand less product, and accordingly my saving will increase. Circulation of money. Circulation of money. Now, this particular concept specifically deals with the Reserve Bank of India, that is your central banking authority, and the control of money circulation by the government. So specifically, the central government in a particular country, they have to look for what amount of fund, what amount of credit, what amount of money is available in circulation into the economic perspective. So at every stage, every point of time, the circulation of money must be quite very fluctuating, very circulating. And if the money is readily available into this particular market, then only the production activity, distribution activity, supply activity, and purchasing activity can be very effective and very fruitful. Circulation of money. Now, a particular manufacturer, if he goes to a particular bank and he wants to avail a certain category of loan. Now, whenever we say he want to avail a category of loan, then what may be a situation that the bank, if the funds are available, they may provide that particular funds, and if the funds are not available, the bank will not provide you or not give you a certain amount of money. Now, another concern, if you go for a personal loan, for a certain expenditure pattern, that is, there is a certain function of marriage at your home, and for this particular concern, you are availing a loan of rupees 5 lakhs. If the amount of money is not available with the bank, if the circulation of money is not available in the bank, what the bank will do, the bank will not sanction or grant you rupees 5 lakhs, and accordingly, they will grant you or sanction you only rupees 3 lakhs. So what will be the option for you, that the expenditure that you are going to make for a extent of rupees 5 lakh, that will be curtailed, that will be reduced to rupees 3 lakhs only. So in this way, if the circulation of money is very effective, if the amount of money that is required is very effective or in a abundant quantity, then only the market demand can be very effective, and the money circulation is having a direct dependency with respect to the amount of quantity that has been demanded. Lastly, the price of related goods. So what are the price of related goods, or the competitors price that has been prevailing or that has been available into this particular market? So at this stage, we have to understand, or we have to identify all the prices of this particular product must be same for all the categories of product that has been offered into that particular mode. So if you are purchasing a particular, for example, depending on the features, depending on the characteristics, depending on the types of the product, depending on the brand that has been associated, every product must have a similar pricing. That is, whenever you say that you want to differentiate a particular product, based on that particular differentiation, it must be very justifiable about which product is offered at which price and how you are going to charge a certain product. So price of related product. Now, whenever you are saying a price of sugar, now price of sugar, maybe sugar is the same product, it is having no differentiation, it is having no different type of qualities, and based on the particular type of sugar that you are purchasing, you have to charge the sugar between the same categories only. That is, a sugar may be charged that is around 35 rupees per kg, 40 rupees per kg, or 45 rupees per kg only, and within that particular range. Now, for example, the price of wheat. Now, whenever we categorize a particular product based on the brand value or based on the quality, the price of the product always changes over a period of time. So price of a product for wheat rupees 12 per kg, the quality may be different. The wheat per 30 rupees per kg, the quality may be different. The wheat available at rupees 50 per kg, the quality may be different. So price of related products. So your related product, that is, if the price of the product is, for example, is an example of wheat, then accordingly you must be differentiating. You must be able to identify what is the price of that particular product, and accordingly, if the price has been given at a different stage, then you must be able to justify about why the product is being charged at a higher rate. Now certain types of clothing product. Now in terms of clothing, what happen, which identify a certain product, a particular shirt may be available for rupees 200, or a particular shirt may be available for rupees 5,000 also. So depending on price of that related product. So what type of product you are offering to the customer, what is the brand, what is the quality, what is the association, or what is the physical attributes of that particular product, based on those concern, the product is being offered. A particular cell phone. Now, whenever you purchase a particular cell phone is available for rupees 700 also, and it is available for rupees 7,000 or 70,000 or 7 lakhs of rupees also. Or you can get a cell phone of rupees 70 crore, which is having the imprint of gold and diamonds, which has been made into it. So in this way, the price of the related product may be available. So in this way, the price of the related product can be made into existence, and the customer has to identify what product can be demanded and when it can be demanded over a period of time. So these are the various determinants of the market demand, based on which either the price of product, the income of the consumer, the taste, preferences and habits that have been associated, the impact of the advertisement. So whether advertisement either in the print media or the online media or a television media is creating an impact on your mindset, and the psychological changes have been undertaken in the minds of the consumers. Consumer expectations, it changes over a period of time. Today you are demanding a certain product, the consumer expectations for at tomorrow it may be different. Growth of population, if there is an increase or decrease in population, accordingly the market demand for that particular product will either increase or will either decrease. Weather conditions, change in the weather conditions with respect to the how the weather or the climate changes over a period of time. Tax rate, change in the tax rate policy by the state government and the central government also impacts directly what will be the pricing of that particular product and how the consumer will be demanding whether it will be affordable or whether it will not be affordable. Availability of credit from the banks and financial institutions, pattern of saving of an individual, that is whether he is going for more of expenditure and more of savings, circulation of money with respect to the Reserve Bank of India and the central government policy for circulation of money, that is the liquid money into the market, and lastly the price of related product based on the differentiation of the product. If the product has been differentiated, if the product is of a good quality, then accordingly you are able to charge a competitive price for your respective product. Okay, that's all for today's lecture. We'll end up our session here itself. If you have any difficulty at this stage, you can please unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you can drop the questions in the chat box.